Always be grateful. That one is the key to everything. If you are grateful to every single thing that you have now, rather than think back, oh, what I've missed or what I'm supposed to get, but enjoy the moment, that present moment. It will do good for you. As simple as that.
The pen is indeed mightier than the sword. It is through the stroke of a single pen that humans can try to make changes in the world. Zurina Waji, a media practitioner of over 3 decades, has faced many life challenges, which triggered her inner soul and led her to fully commit to being an active humanitarian. For the past years, Zurina has been involved in a non-governmental organization known as the Karisma Humanitarian Outreach Mission that focuses on sustainable projects to assist vulnerable communities and inspire hope, and to help alleviate the sufferings of victims struck by war, poverty, and natural catastrophes. In conjunction with World Humanitarian Day, The Vibes speaks to Zurina about her daunting yet spirited journeys. This is her story.
Journalism is about people. It's about human, basically. It's about interaction, with between people, human. Jadi for humanitarian, because I just like to know things. I like to observe. Basically, I observe a lot. Sometimes I can just take public bus, like going to nowhere, just because I want to see people. I want to hear their stories because it's real, and I like real stories. That's how. So when journalism into humanitarian, it's not that much difference because it's still about people. It's about relationship. So how you interact with people, and then how you observe and understanding and getting their trust, that one is what makes it a good story. I mean, you get their trust to tell you things, and you need to be a good observer to look and to listen. That's how it works.
كان في عند أصحاب اللي معهم لك حنين لا
selalu main kat sini dengan kawan-kawan ni, tapi sekarang ni kawan ni tak ada.
For example, I went to Lebanon. Lebanon now, they're facing a financial crisis. I mean, the worst in the world, number 1 in the world. So it's interesting to see how, people actually, when you go to such countries, you will think about what if this thing happen in your own country. I've been thinking like, okay, what if this kind of thing happens in Malaysia, where people sell things but no price tag, because you can buy, for example, 1 box of Milo might cost you $1 today, but will go up to $5 the next day. That's how things are in Lebanon right now. And the refugees, they are the worst. Their condition is the worst because value-wise drop, and basically things are getting very expensive, and you see people queuing just to buy bread. And in some areas you have, okay, for example, I went to Asal. It's near the Syrian border. From Beirut, it took us like 3 hours like that, and we have to pass about like at least 6 checkpoints, Lebanese army checkpoints, and then some areas they are being guarded by the Lebanese army, and then within that zone you have maybe 8 separate political parties, armed forces within that zone. So basically, when you go to interview to a house, you might have to pass this armed forces, but under some political parties. It's not like That's why you see people, refugees in Lebanon, they are trying to get away. So they try to board boat and whatnot. And of course you have cases like people die and whatnot. But then you have no choice. It's like if you go back to Syria, it's like hell. If you are in Lebanon, it's also another hell. So what choice do you have? And those kind of things make me think about what if things like this happen in Malaysia. That's why I'm into this humanitarian thing.
You can tell the family that Zoo is an orphan and she lost her son last year from COVID and Corona.
The coronavirus.
And her husband also passed away.
I'm actually a volunteer with Karisma Humanitarian Outreach Mission, or COM. They are based in Kelantan. Actually, it was started by my good friend. We were schoolmates, and basically her intention was to expose about humanitarian things to her students, because she runs a tuition center. That's where I came in to support her, because I like the idea of her bringing in young people to get involved in this humanitarian thing. Because normally when you do humanitarian mission, it's always the adults. I mean, orang tua. You know, you hardly people hardly give chances to, opportunities to young people. So why not? Since she wants to groom her students and young people to get into this kind of thing. So that's how the thing started.
Recalling her experiences helping communities in war zones, Zurina still manages to find positivity, a ray of hope and happiness.
There's always happy moments all the time. That's the beauty of it, Even if you went to war-related country, with the refugees, sometimes, there's always stories about they don't have enough food to eat, no house to live in, and yet it will be some sweet memories there. It can be as simple as, one lollipop can change a kid's day, It's as simple as that. So it's like, when you give them the lollipop and the smile and the way they eat it, it just, I don't know. It's a feeling that you seeing them smile, like it's their face, like like I'm in heaven, like that. It's just a lollipop, It's funny how we take things for granted, and yet some people, they see the beauty of it. You see great people. You meet great people, even though they are refugees. I mean, their strength, no matter what, even though they don't have house to live in, don't have enough food, it's the will tu yang kita kagum lah, we respect so much on that.
Nevertheless, life has never been a walk in the park for her. Zurina also has had her fair share of hardship in life. 16 years ago, her husband passed away suddenly when she was pregnant with their youngest child. 2 decades earlier, her father was a victim of a hit and run. Her mother passed away when she was only 8 years old. In September 2021, Zurina lost her eldest and only son to COVID-19. He was only 17 years old. And more recently, she's learned that her only sibling, an elder brother, has now been diagnosed with cancer. However, Zurina is far from broken or disheartened in life. Instead, with these trials and tribulations, she has found a growing sense of empathy, tolerance, and a generosity for humankind.
Every humanitarian projects, I mean, it's not it's not me who help them actually. They are the ones who help me. The refugees, the kids, the widows, you know, the family of the Shahid, they are the one that helped me actually. They are the one that, you know, ease the pain and all. Because you see, when I'm not trying to be a hero, there's no such thing. Hero is always Allah lah, because He owns everything. Even I pun, we are just pinjaman, you know. Even when my son passed away and now my brother having cancer, it's just part of the story yang God write for you, you know. So bila you macam the humanitarian mission tu, you find strength in people. It's not like I'm taking advantage or what, but they are giving me strength actually by helping. At first I thought I'm helping people, but no, they are the ones that help you actually. So that's why it's the concept of sedekah, you know, actually. You know, it's not you giving people, you know, it's whatever that orang tu dapat, that one benefits you actually.
Her most precious achievement, she asserts, are her children, including her late son, who had followed suit in her humanitarian footsteps.
So, okay, when I first started attached to COM, my kids actually fork out. Anaki was still alive at that time. So my son and the sisters, they fork out their money. They bought chocolates and candy, and they packed for one orphanage. And they got excited doing that. And even Anaki, before he passed away, he managed to do one project with his coursemate. They collect funds for the Palestinian. That was last year during the war, during the Ramadan. They managed to gather funds and bought water tanks for the Palestinians. Even my daughters, because I don't really tell them, oh, you need to do this humanitarian. No, there's no such thing, because they are orphans. So, and they get help from people when they were younger, when we were much smaller. So I told them, you know, today is hari you know, you susah, people help you, but doesn't mean that you are orphans, you cannot help people.
Ultimately, Zurina hopes that those in a position of power will reach out and extend a helping hand to help those displaced attain their freedom and dignity.
Have compassion, because it makes you human, and it differentiate you between human and animal. Without compassion, you are worse than animal. Even cats, you know, love the kittens. You tak ada ihsan, you tak ada kasih, you bukan manusia, and you should be ashamed.